something.
Yeah.
The Slurpee.
What about 7-Eleven? Yeah.
And they were the first ones to have coffee to go. One of their people put a coffee machine in their store, and the owner, whoever CEO, saw it, and they're the ones that started it.
Well, why wouldn't everybody have done that back in
They didn't have cup tops either.
1973?
They put a piece of foil over the top of the cup when the guy left because he spilled it.
7-Eleven. And then they went to the plastic. That's why 7-Eleven went all, hey, we're live. Oh my gosh, we're all of a sudden live. This is crazy. I wish it wouldn't automatically start. It doesn't automatically start. I started a minute ago.
And then you start yapping out.
And then I start yapping. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, my clothes are falling apart. But this is the NERBC shirt the one I have. I might have to buy another one Saturday. NERBC in Schaumburg.
Wow.
Make sure that you are there. Schaumburg, Illinois, folks. We have a wonderful, wonderful guest. Two wonderful guests on tonight. We have, what are you doing? We have, is it Illinois or is it Illinois?
It's Illinois.
Let's start a little fight here. Let's start some controversy. We have Illinois Valley Geckos. We have Carolyn and Dustin. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us. This is going to be a fun show. A great couple, fun to talk to. They are moving up in the gecko world, and we're going to talk to them about what they've done in the past, what they're doing in the future. This is going to be fun. Who's all here, Nanette?
Let's see. We have Frank. Herbert Denny is here. Hey there. Haven't seen him for a while. Cassandra. JP Lizards. Katie's here. Joseph is here. That's all I'm seeing. Raimuna over Miami is here. Angie's out of town. I remember that. Lifelong Gleamers is here.
Corey is here. I'm here.
Crazy
That's enough
here
to start the show, I think.
At
What do you think?
At least they have the link to start the show.
We're going to go there. For those that are in our Buy Me a Coffee program, I sent out the link for everybody to join our Buy Me a Coffee's exclusive monthly live. And we talk about all kinds of things, very transparent, what's going on downstairs, what's going on in the hobby. In a positive way, obviously, never in a negative way. And random question. I'll come back to that in just a second. So we did this, and I sent out the link to everybody, and it was the last month. It was the June link. So we started the show, and for 10 minutes, we talked to each other. Mm-hmm. And after about 8 to 9 minutes, we started panicking, and I was like, well, nobody loves us anymore. They don't want to join our lives.
I went to Facebook.
And you went to Facebook. Yeah,
you opened Facebook. Frank had left me a private message.
Oh my gosh.
And there were the messages.
And people were just, you guys suck.
They were not.
You can't do
the
link that. They were confused. We gave everybody the right link. Cassandra was one.
Well, and you gave me the wrong link originally too, because you emailed me that link and it was wrong and I couldn't get in.
Maybe I do suck. Maybe I should stop doing lives.
No, don't stop.
We'll Hooked on Geckos, thank you very much, Nikki, for joining us. We're going to recover tonight, and we're going to make up for that blunder from the previous day.
Arkansas? What's wrong with Arkansas?
I don't know.
That's how you pronounce it, Arkansas.
Arkansas.
It's not Arkansas.
Arkansas?
Frank. It's Arkansas.
Louisville.
Tomato.
Nolans. Buy Me a Coffee. I just wanted to mention lots going on with our Buy Me a Coffee program. Real quick, if you're not a member, we'd love to have you as a member. There's a lot of benefits. This last week or so, we put together, I think, a couple dozen new animals introduced for our Buy Me a Coffee members first at a discount. We also did the 3 new geckos exclusive video, 3 new geckos that we brought into the facility in the last couple of months. And we also have that members first video from Monica from Evolver Exotics. I don't have any notes on this, so I have to remember off the top of my head. And there's a lot off the top of my head. I've got just minimal notes here. So, but that was a members first video on cat geckos. I tell you, the in-depthness of that interview was incredible. Speaking of videos, make sure that you take a look. If you're a If you're a, oh gosh, bioactive fan, and you have bioactive enclosures, and you have animals that bury their eggs, you want to watch the last video that we did. Kind of a tip, not kind of, it is, I think, a huge tip that we kind of borrowed from another person. We were talking, and I said, I'm going to do a video on this. And they said, yeah, sure. Bomb Exotics, thanks for joining us. So it's a way to resolve the problem with your animals, like crested geckos, like gargoyles, like Bavaye, that bury their eggs somewhere in the enclosure, and you can't find them. You look and look and look, and then you tear down the enclosure after 2 years, and you have 268 eggs out there that hatched or didn't hatch, and it's just a mess. So this is a way to fix that. I mentioned Schaumburg. Make sure that if you're in the area within a 500-mile radius, you attend the NARDC in Schaumburg, Illinois, because it is a huge show, and there's great people there, great vendors. I know one vendor that's going to be there, and we're going to talk to them right now. We're not. We're going to be there Saturday only. Saturday only. So, without further ado, I think we've known Carolyn and Dustin for probably about 3, 4, 5 years. You can correct me, guys, when you come on. They're doing some amazing things. I remember going back and seeing probably one of their very first reptile shows where they were vending, and they did a great job. But from that point to having multiple tables, beautiful, and oh my gosh, the animals that they're breeding right now, it was incredible to see that journey and the fruition of a lot of efforts. I'm going to show this picture one more time real quick and see if we can get closer. They're doing amazing things, and again, with their animals and with their shows and in the community. So I thought it'd be a great idea to bring on Carolyn and Dustin of Illinois Valley Geckos.
Frank said they fell asleep waiting for us.
I bet. Hi, guys. How are you doing?
Hi. Good.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you very much for joining us. So you have this big show coming up on Saturday, and I asked you, hey, 10 minutes before the show, and you're getting prepared. Can you come on my show and talk for 4 hours? It's not going to be 4 hours.
I'm glad it worked out.
I'm glad it worked out, too. And I know that you guys are busy with so much. And we want to learn more about the business and your animals. But very first thing, and I do this with all of our guests if I could, I'd like to ask you about you. What do you guys do in your spare time? Give us a little bit of background on the two of you.
Yeah, so I mean, we both work full time. And of course we do this hobby. I do my own little side hobby with like Renaissance fairs and stuff like that too. So that's like a whole nother hobby of mine. And his family actually owns like a farm property too. So they do like corn and beans and stuff like that. So they mainly do crop farm. So they like run the tractors and everything else there. But
yeah. So if I'm not busy with this, I'm busy with that. And
yeah, we are constantly busy, and we both work 40 plus hours a week. We are max for everything going on in our lives, considering we have about 300 animals on top of that. So the farm, side hobby, 300 animals, 2 full-time jobs, a house to care for. So definitely got our hands full. And then plus I have a spreadsheet of my events. I have 50 events for 2025, and it's usually about the same.
I've got to ask, what kind of events?
So it kind of ranges anything from reptile shows, whether it be from any RBC, local reptile shows, show me reptile shows. It's all color coded. And so then my other group is going to be like more my Renaissance fairs, my markets, or other things that I just want to go and attend.
Okay, we can't get past this item. And since you brought it up, tell us a little bit about the Renaissance fairs.
It's a blast. I absolutely love it. It is such a welcoming community, and everyone there is just phenomenal. I've met so many people this year, whether it be photographers or just new friends, or even people that like work at the fair too. They are just absolutely so friendly, and I leave the fairs sometimes just feeling so overwhelmed with like joy that I got to experience something so fun and exciting.
How very cool. But go ahead,
You
Nanette.
participate within it, correct? That's what I'm seeing in the pictures.
I am not. So that is
Okay.
actually an outfit that I've made all myself. I do not work
Okay.
for anyone. I just do it out of pure fun.
Okay.
I have been recruited a few times, but every time I've said that I've just had too much on my plate.
Okay.
I wish I would have
Yeah.
brought one of those pictures. Everybody,
They're
when you
cool.
get a chance after this show, go over to Facebook, look them up, and check out these amazing, amazing, amazing costumes. They're absolutely
you.
incredible.
I showed Crystal. She wants to now go there.
She wants to. Well, it's so cool.
Yeah.
We haven't
I gotta
been
find a
in
weekend.
so many years since the kids were probably about 10 or 11. So,
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it with work and your other activities and the animals. Tell us a little bit about how Illinois Valley Geckos got its start, if you would.
Yeah, so kind of how we started was when I was younger, my mother actually owned a local pet store, and they did everything from parrots to fish to snakes to hamsters, anything you can think of. So I was always in there helping her, helping wherever I could. I was young at that time, so I couldn't really like go into like the tarantula cages or like, pet the parrot or anything like that because it'd be too dangerous. Because the parrot was like a surrender kind of situation. And so she was big in the community, but unfortunately, ever since the stock market crash, I think it was 2008, they unfortunately had to close down and had to rehome and all the animals. So ever since then, she's always kept a bunch of reptiles at her house. And so whenever I would visit her and everything, I would just absolutely just love seeing the leopard gecko, the bearded dragon. We had a bearded dragon named Scooter. He was absolutely awesome. Hi, Mom, if you're listening.
Hi, Mom.
And yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so as time got on, I just started getting into it. I got my first leopard gecko years ago, and then it bloomed into 300 as you see now. And yeah, no, we're rocking and rolling with it.
Oh my gosh. And again, it's been fun watching you grow, your company, you two grow in the community. As you've grown, I'm going to hide this comment, but as you've grown, have you kind of set a motto for yourselves? Just real quick, I remember it wasn't but a year or two before we became a business. I started keeping animals. A couple of years I started a business. The first thing I did was come up with the name, but the very second thing that I did was come up with a motto or a mission statement or a goal statement. Have you guys kind of thought about that? Have you come up with one yourselves?
Yeah, it's actually right on our website. It says we're dedicated to a healthy legacy. So that is our absolute goal. We just want happy, healthy animals. And then for those happy other animals to be in a happy home after we work with them. So anything that we can do to make that happen, that's our goal.
Outstanding. Has that changed in the last couple of years? I mean, the one big difference that I think a lot of keepers find once they start a business after a couple of years of success like you guys have had is the amount of time that they're now devoting to customer service and answering questions and talking to people. So has anything changed in the last couple of years due to your growth?
Not really. No, I mean, we still put our customers first. I work a hybrid job, so if I have to put my job on a back burner so I can take care of a living being of an animal, I will absolutely do that all day, every day. The animals come first in my life, and my hybrid job is incredibly flexible. They highly respect my own hobby and my business. So that is incredibly rewarding that I can dedicate my time to my customers and my animals. So if I'm ever like, oh, I got a lot going on, I can just stay home and work today and help with the animals, and then I'll work, and then I'll do a little bit of both. And it works really well.
That's outstanding. I mean, if you're committed to a job that's not as flexible, it becomes hard and you're making choices. And sometimes the choices are, I have to have a job. This is a great, hobby business, but I have to have a job. But for that flexibility, that just opens so many doors,
It does. Yeah, like
Oh.
even today, like I was able to leave early, and I can just work my own shifts. Like I was able to come in early, leave early, and then even tomorrow morning, I'm just going to be working from like early in the morning, so that way we can bust over to Schaumburg. So it works really well.
Nice.
As long as I get my 40 hours in and make sure all the numbers are good, I'm good.
And that's exactly what companies should be doing. As long as you get your work done, Did you have a question?
Right.
No. Okay. So we kind of have a feel. You had mentioned the number of animals that you have. Kind of give us a background of what you're keeping, volume, and volume. If somebody's keeping 50 or 10 or 100 or 1,000, that's just a number. It's not telling about the care and more information than that. But just kind of give us a background of the types of animals you're keeping, the kind of enclosures you prefer, stuff like that, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. So, of course, kind of where we started with the animals, we started with leopard gecko pets, and then we're like, oh, let's get into crested geckos. And like anybody, crested geckos went from 1 to probably, I think we're up 200 right
Something
now.
like that,
I think
yeah.
last we counted was the last month, and we were at 199, and we've had hatchlings since then.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So definitely a lot of babies this year, which is also rewarding. I love that. So we're doing a lot of different projects there, and I'll touch base on that later. But so yeah, obviously we've got the leopard geckos, but those are just mainly pets. And then we have our crested geckos. This is our main project per se of species. And then we have dart frogs. That is another good chunk of our collection. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different species there. And so as you can see, majority of these are just kind of like our smaller thumbnail darts. And then, yeah, we got 2 other fire skinks up here. Those are kind of off to the side, 2 fire skinks that we're growing out. We have chihuahuas coming in. We're going to be breeding those hopefully next year, some high reds. I'm really excited about that. That's one of my other things too, is I love reds. And yeah, I knew you'd like that. And gosh, mourning geckos out of our ears. Dart frog babies out of our ears also. Those are more than mourning geckos right now. And yeah, and then the Bavaria, how you like to pronounce it. We have 5 different species of those as well. So that's also really nice.
And I hope we get to talk about the Bavaria, however you pronounce it, later on, because it's such an underrated species. Yeah. And it's so good to see other people keeping this species. Number 1, because they're so cool. Number 2, because they're so easy. Number 3, because not a lot of people are keeping these. And my passion now the last couple of years is please, hobby, can we just keep some of these animals? Oh, perfect. You're going to grab it and just kind of let it, like a crested gecko, the Bavaria, jump from hand to hand? That would be so cool.
We already have one that's named.
She's going to be so jealous she wasn't here tonight.
I do understand the lightning in the bottle reference that you made.
Yes. Yes.
All of like 80% of them are lightning in the bottle. But once you get them tamed down, they're fairly easy. We have already been working with a couple of the other babies, and they're doing well already.
She says with confidence.
Yeah.
Right. We had one of our males Savigi, Gitania, that I had gotten out like on the 3rd night, and just doing some maintenance in his terrarium, and right out. They are incredibly fast. They're basically very similar to like a mourning gecko, but a little bit slower, not as skittish. Just kind of depends on which species and how much you work with them.
I would have said the same thing, but not similar at all, because they're 10 times as fast. It's everybody's perception, right?
Yeah,
it is.
Like I had someone reach out at the Executia that they had just gotten, and they were saying like, oh, what species is this, do you think? And they said it was an Executia. I'm like, okay, that's more than likely it. I congratulate you for holding it in your hand. So yeah, it definitely takes some time, especially like I've even noticed that the bigger ones are even faster. So like my Borealis and my Cyclura are just big. Like they easily will fill up my entire hand, and just because they're so huge. And everyone's used to like, if I say it's like a morning gecko, not for size. Some of the different species they are, but not all of them. So we can touch base on that a little bit.
Yes. I'm going to ask a question real quick while Dustin is grabbing that. What kind of dart frogs?
Okay, we have a bunch. Okay, so our biggest one right now is Zera younga. They are a thumbnail species. Hang on. Give me your sugar. You're just winging it the whole time, weren't you? Yeah. Okay, so we have one of our Bioactive geckos.
Oh, nice. Look at that, Nanette. It's sitting on her hand.
Incredibly tame. Dustin just walked in with her.
What is that? No way.
Right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, this is impossible.
Right.
Wow.
Definitely, yes. I hold her practically every day.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be the difference because, I opened the door and kind of, as it's still closing, I'm throwing food in.
Yeah, that's kind of how it is with the darts. But so going back to the dart question, so Zera younga, they're pretty similar to Santa Isabella. Just like a thumbnail dart frog species. They only get like size of a quarter maybe. And then we have, you want to grab one of the ice cloud cups there, just in case. And then we have red galops. Those are really fun. They have a very low call. It almost sounds like electrical buzzing, but like really, really small.
Oh.
Really, like you can very faintly hear it. It actually scared us before because we thought we were having an electrical problem, and we didn't know what their call sounded like at the time because we thought they were still babies. And we started unplugging everything. All the electricals unplugged, and we're like, wait, it's coming from the tank. So that was fun.
How cool is that? That is super cool.
It's crazy.
Yes.
And then we also own one strawberry female dart frog, and then a trio of Azurius, Dutch-Way Tutorius.
Very nice. That's a collection and a half. And I again, hats off to you because, and I keep a lot of mixed geckos, and that's a challenge. But you have different types of animals and mixed geckos, and again, your jobs and everything. Hats off to you because it's not like you're feeding 300 crested geckos. You're doing a lot of different things. Dart frogs are very, 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 very different from a lot of the animals that you're keeping. So it's a different routine, and it takes more time. So
right.
Wow. Your enclosures. Let's talk about your enclosures. What kind of enclosures do you prefer for some of your animals?
So we kind of go back and forth between, depending on the species. So obviously my dart frogs are all going to be in bioactives because that's what they require. High humidity, that dart frogs is its own gig. So dart frogs are separately in bioactive. Cresteds are 50-50. So I've got some like behind me in bioactive tanks. And then I've got the other 50% or so in tubs. So I do tubs as well. And so we do pool noodles, we do a ton of fake leaves, we do a whole ton of stuff in there. Lay boxes, whole 9 yards. And then, so yeah, for like our hatchling crested geckos, and then even for like our hatchling Cohabitation, we'll also do tubs as well, just until, it's a grow out tub basically. And then fire skinks, we've got them in a 30 by 18 by 8. 30 by 18, I think. 18 by 12 maybe. Yeah. Just a couple baby juvenile fire skinks in their own separate tanks. We've got those. Those are like half bioactive. And then our I'm trying to think of like everybody else. Our gargoyles are in tubs right now. Our breeders are paired. Yeah. I think so. Oh, and then chihuahuas will also go in a bioactive tank. I've got a female coming in. The male's a little bit older, I believe. Female is going to grow out in her own tub and her own tub, and then get put in a bioactive, and then she'll be in the bioactive for a while, probably about a year, and then after that we'll introduce the male and see how they interact. And then go from there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Kind of a controversial question. I'm going to bring it up because you're talking about enclosures and your animals, and you mentioned that if I wasn't mistaken, your gargoyles are together. Do you cohabitate?
I do. So I only do 1-to-1. I don't really care to do 2 to 1, so like 2 females to 1 male, just because I'm big on like lineage and like, okay, here's the parents. You know, that's a big thing for me, and I'm like super OCD also. And I'm not also, I don't want to overproduce, and I know my limits, and he knows our limits too. That we don't want to overproduce and like, you know, especially to stress out females, and just in case if that happens, we don't want to do that either. So we just do 1 to 1. We monitor all the time. We check calcium stacks at least once a month in all of our females, and we supplement from there. And yeah, if we notice a female that's getting, you know, a little lanky, then we'll go ahead and separate. And we have tubs on tubs, you know, if we needed to separate the male for emergency or whatever it may be, we've got that as well. So yeah, we do cohabitates. Out of our, how many breeder pairs? I think we've got 40.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's between all species. So Bobia, Cresteds, Gargs, soon to be Chihuahua, that's not in the number yet. Dark Frogs, everybody else. So, yeah, we've got our hands full, but we know our limits, which is nice.
I love the answer, and certainly, and hopefully everybody knows me by now. I'm not challenging anybody here. I love your answer, and you've been doing it long enough that you know what to look for. We could go, you know, keep them separate. We could go keep them together. It's right. You know,
some do,
I think it's what you prefer.
Yeah.
What's that?
I said some do, some people do, and they have great luck with it.
Yep.
I just don't want to try it, and I feel comfortable doing 1 to 1. Some people feel comfortable doing 2 to 1. Their experience, then that's okay, and they can do whatever they want.
Absolutely, and if it works for you, I always tell people don't change. You know, learn, keep an open mind, but if it's working for you, don't change.
She's still absolutely not an animal, right?
She is, and it's not running. It's not like downstairs in the rafters.
She'll hang out with me all day.
That's nuts.
That's
just
insane.
It's like day geckos. The more you hold them, the more comfortable they're going to be. Oh my gosh, it is crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
Tell us about, I love this question because I could talk for an hour, and if you want to talk for an hour, that's cool too. Tell us about a normal day for you. What's a normal day?
Okay. He's out the door by, he's out the door by 5. And I'm usually out the door by like 7, 8-ish, depending on what day and what we have going on. And he usually gets home about 4. I usually get home, depending on the day, anywhere between 5 and 7 usually, just saying if I'm working extra. So as soon as, let's say, 7 o'clock rolls around, I'm home. We're immediately in the reptile room, whether it be starting on gecko cups, rinsing those out. That easily takes an hour. You know, rinsing them out, drying them, just because our tap water is kind of gross. We want to make sure we dry them. And then, yeah, pretty much after that, till almost midnight, we are feeding. We have a schedule as well. So let's say Monday night, we're feeding and spraying. Tuesday nights, we are just feeding the juveniles and spraying everybody. And then let's say Wednesday night, we're completely drying everybody out. So we don't touch anybody. So those dry out nights are bliss.
And I bet that's something that you really look forward to too, that little break in the action.
Yeah, definitely. Just to catch up on some sleep usually.
That is funny. I'm not sure, Nana. I'm just going to let it go. My battery's dying on my laptop. No big deal. Sure. Sorry. Excuse me. I'm going to go to my notes here, though. Bear with me. So here's a question. You guys kind of work together as a team, and I bet it's not that many, but who makes the big decisions with the reptiles? Who makes that? Yes, we can do this. No, we can't do that. Dustin, is that you?
No, that's definitely her. She's the one that makes the big decisions there.
Yeah.
And I'm usually the one that makes sure that they're, conscientious decisions. And
right. He's my backup of like, should I do this? Yeah. So he's usually my conscience. I'm more so like the decision maker, and then he also helps with muscle.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's funny. Kind of and this is great. This is fantastic. Kind of that sounding board, I think we should be doing, 6 groups of Bavaye, and Dustin goes, 6 groups? What are you talking about?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, but does he challenge you? Does he challenge the decisions more from a financial standpoint or from a resource standpoint?
A little bit of both. Resources more so means for us is space. Just because we are in a house where everything is in the spare bedroom. So like if we ever have a guest over, they mount on the couch. And so that's one main restriction. I mean, the other big one obviously is financial. Because, this is our first house, there's renovations, there's things that we have to do to the house. So we have to dedicate our own savings to that as well. But then on the same flip side, it is easier to ask for forgiveness and permission. Wally, I'm sure you're aware with that.
Absolutely. It's not. That's okay, Nanette.
I'm sorry.
How about division of responsibilities? How do you divide who does what?
It's kind of 50-50, I would say.
Yeah,
I would say it's about 50-50 for what we do. I mean, we have a routine every night. So like if it is a feed night, I tackle the adults on one wall, and then he tackles the tanks and the babies on the other wall. And we kind of just meet in the middle, and essentially just every night that we either feed or spray or both. And then as goes for like everything else, it's usually 50-50, which is nice.
Yeah, whenever we see something and we've got the spare time to do it, we'll just knock it out and touch base at the end of the day and, compare ideas and figure out what to do next time.
Right. Yeah.
Dustin, are there some things that are getting done in I'm going to call it the facility, in the house, that you'll look at and go, I really don't like doing this. I'm just going to kind of let it go.
You're a
Yeah, for a while we had an agreement of keeping the reptiles in the reptile room, but that kind of went away on the wayside there. So there's about 6 or 7 tanks in the living room now.
Yeah. And then like even I was saying to the Urodactyly babies, just because they're so tiny and fragile, he's got big farm hands. He's just like, honey, help. Oh,
I love that point because you're kind of sharing special skills. You guys are doing things that you guys, Dustin can do, and Carolyn, you're doing things that you can do better, maybe with the skill set that you have. Good point.
Yeah, definitely, and especially like when it comes to raw muscle, I lack in that department, so he was able to thankfully greatly help me with that as well. So that's a big help. If there's a heavy tank or something, I would never have been able to either. So wonderful there.
I kind of do the same thing with Nanette, a big heavy tank, and I go, that's her skill set.
What do you think with the bioactive tank?
I noticed that. I know, and you lifted it like 8 feet in the air. That was. Did you jump and put that? That was pretty cool.
I balanced on a step stool and everything.
Our worst one was our Younga tank. That one at least weighed, what do you think, 200?
Oh no,
something like that. Yeah, it was heavy. It was a marketplace find, or I think it was a Craigslist find actually, and they were like, okay, here's the tank and everything. Problem was that the tank had water in it too, so it just made it even more heavy, and the water was mixing with mud, so we couldn't even get it out or dump it if we wanted to. So getting it in the house, we had to get our folding wagon, put 2x4s on top of it, which is sketchy already, and lug it into here and just brute strength it on a shelf that we thankfully is holding. Knock on wood. Yeah, I know.
And now it's a permanent asset to that place on your shelf.
It is.
It will never move.
I cannot move it.
It's not going anywhere until we move.
No, literally, it's staying right there. Even we had to rigmarole it for the fire skink tanks too, because they're all on the same rack. And I'm just like, honey, I think we just need to man it. Yeah.
Let me go back to a question here. This is kind of tricky question because it's so wide open. But tell the viewers, tell me some of the projects that you're working with. Now, we talked about the Bavaria, but oh my gosh, the crested gecko projects that you're currently working with, but also kind of round that whole conversation out with what's coming up in the future. So, how did you get to these certain projects, what you're working on, and then what's going to be the evolution of these projects? Does that make sense? Okay.
Absolutely, definitely. So I'll do a broad and then I'll kind of go into finer details. So obviously the dart frogs, those are blooming. So those are doing really well. So I hope to get more of the grow outs and hopefully they end up breeding. I hear the males calling, so we might get lucky. At least for red glots, those are really nice. Those are blackened red frogs and they're like thumbnails too. So they're really tiny and amazing. Then morning geckos are taking off as well. We have our high expression Hawaiian morning geckos. So those are really, really, really pretty. We also have near patternless, I say near because patternless doesn't really exist, but near patternless yellow belly morning geckos as well. Those are really pretty. Got those from the rec room, so shout out to them. Let's see. Our dart frogs, our Zagreus, are going to be breeding here soon. The females are just about grown, so I have to do a swap for a male. I love Azurius. That was actually his birthday gift.
Yeah.
Was it last year? Last year, yeah, because he loves blue. So I wanted to get something for me also. Yeah, it's a good compromise. He liked them. And then crested geckos, gargle geckos, those are taking off wonderfully as well. Crested geckos, we have a ton of different projects on that. I'll touch base on those in just a second. Gargle geckos, those are doing well. We have our main focus with the gargle geckos is we love red, as I stated before. So red, we have a 6 stripe. Those actually is paired right now, I believe. So we gotta get some red stripes, the 6 stripes going for the reds. We have another male from Brian Perchek and JPs Geckos line. So that is also really nice. I really like that. So he's gonna be paired to a couple different females. He's already paired to one this year. He's gonna be getting paired to the other one soon. So love the gargle geckos. We already had a few babies so far this year, so that's also exciting. Yes, and and then the Bavaria. So we have 5 different species there. Let me see if I can remember all of them. Okay, so Savugi, Guitania, Cyclura, Borealis, and Executia. There we go. There's the last one. Yeah, we we're trying to think of it earlier.
Nice job.
Yeah. So those are doing really well. We already have Bavaria Borealis, Bavaria Borealis, however you like to pronounce it. We already have eggs from the females. So that is
Yes.
not many people own Borealis. So to be able to be one of the people like in the US or even in the world actually working with these types of species is amazing because you always see some of the more common species. Executia is more of one of the common ones. I've seen just ones like that before. I mean, there's going to be some common species. There's 27 different types of them. Problem is, of those 27, you only have a very small batch in the US. So to be able to work with 5 of those, great. Love that.
Yeah. And when you say common, I want to make it perfectly clear. More common for that genus. Yes. The genus itself is, I think, pretty rare in the hobby. Not many people are working with Bavaria. They're just not. Yeah.
No. Yeah, definitely. No, there really isn't. Even looking up for my Borealis, I looked up Bavaria Borealis for sale, just Google, and only one listing came up in the world, and that was in Germany. Yeah, and that was it. So people more than likely have the species. They're just not making it very public, which totally fine, totally respect that. But people that are working with them and trying to breed and, in return sell them in the end, doesn't really happen. So that's really exciting to be able to work with that.
Yes.
Way to go. Yeah, so that's exciting. And then, so we'll kind of swing back to the cresteds now. We have so many different projects going on with those. We have Exantics. We've got Exantic cappuccinos. We have already some hets that got hatched like a month ago. So those are really exciting. And we had our first visual Exantix. That was also woo.
Nice.
That
Congratulations.
was thank you. That was our first ever Exantic eggs. And we had one visual Exantic, and then we had 100 het Lily Exantic. So that was incredible.
Wow.
I was just blown away by that. And so that was incredible in its own sense. And we did jump on the sable train. We do have a male and a female there. So obviously we're going to work with them individually in their own, I'm not going to pair sable to sable. I don't feel comfortable doing that yet. I just want to, sit back and see what's happening there. It's so new still. Anyways, so I have, I could go the Exantic route. I could go the Lily route. There's so many different things that, that I have options to that is absolutely incredible and mind-boggling. We've got all sorts of the fancy ones, Lily Whites, Cappuccino. We got that as well. But we like working more. Honestly, I personally love the reds, as I've said before. So I love my red Super Dalmatians. Red Super Dalmatians are my gig. So I love them. I mean, even our logo, we have our boy Pepper. He is our main guy. He's been, I think, with 3 females in the last few years. Yeah, I think about 3 females in the last few years, 2 or 3. And yeah, I personally just love how pretty they are, especially the confettis. Those are really, that's Pepper. He is just my boy. We have another male. Do you want to grab that other boy? Our
Pepper?
Yeah. The boy over there. I want to show that one off a little bit. We have another male that's coming into. We wanted to pair this season, but we'll kind of see how it goes. We do keep year round of them together. Temperature stays the same. We make sure we add calcium and do all that. But we have one male that I'd like to kind of show off a little bit. Even fired down, he's bright red. So I would love to show this boy off. He is a red super spot, and he is just completely red all the time. Kind of show him off a little bit. Might be hard to see, but he is just completely red spots all over him. He's just an absolute gorgeous boy, and this is him fired down, so you can just get an idea of what he's like fired up. And he's just fire engine red, and he's just covered in these gorgeous red spots too. I just cannot wait to work with him.
I think a cool thing is that, 10 years ago, we started seeing some of these different morphs, the explosion, the branching out to different morphs. And I feel like right now we're kind of going back to, okay, I have this, I wanted this. Now it's been 5 years and I have this. What do I do with it? Well, one thing you can do is you can put Dalmatians on it and make this, which you've worked so hard to produce, have Dalmatians. Well, what else can I do? Well, I don't like Dalmatians. What I can do? Well, what can I do? Well, you can take red. You can bring red back into that animal and see what red. So I think we're going kind of back to some of the basics with some of these animals. We're keeping the progression that a lot of breeders, out there have achieved. And I could name, a dozen names, but then, people are now coming back to the basics and bringing back pinstripes. I don't know if you've seen the red pinstripes that came on the scene a year ago. And I think that's fascinating that we have the new, and now we're mixing the old, and it's so cool to see the animals. Pepper is just an amazing animal.
Yeah, he's one of our best. He's one of our cornerstones too, and just like him and Alaska I had out earlier, the white boy. He's another one of our cornerstones. A lot of people have seen him at the shows. He is our little security guard that we like to call at the shows. He'll hang out in our light pretty much all day long. I'm getting a little smudge on my feet. And so we got Alaska as our cornerstone, Pepper. Pepper is a red Dalmatian. Alaska is our highlighter yellow lily white male. God, who's our other cornerstones? I think. We have our super empty decks. That's another big project of ours. So really excited about those. We have, 3 projects, I believe, of them. 3, 4, I believe. Yeah. So those are incredible already, and I'm really excited to start showing those off soon. Like straight out of the egg, they're just gorgeous. And a lot of them too are having like some high white walls on the sides. So that's also really exciting.
Wow.
So yeah, just all sorts of exciting stuff. And even like our high whites are coming in too. Those are starting to pop out. I'm all around excited. It's going incredible so far.
I love to see what you've been doing with your crested geckos. I'm impressed that you have this vision in front of you, and you're kind of working through, not next year, but 5 years down the road, if that's what I'm hearing correctly. I love
Definitely.
that plan. I love how you're growing your business that way, and I think that that's super, super important.
Definitely.
I've got a question from Jay. What's that?
I'm saying we're not rushing it either. We're taking it very slow and steady. We're not trying to, be a stock breeder. That's not what we're doing. We're just doing this for our joy, our fun, but also for the hobby too, and for our customers. So we're not rushing it. We're not pushing it. We're not incubating at high temps to just pull out the new thing. We're not doing that. Respect to those that do and, are able to pop things out left and right. But we just take things low and slow.
Yes. JP has a question, just for fun. If you were to find a new morph with your crusties, what would you call it? And people, if you have questions, put your question in, and I might not get to it right away. I'll start it and we'll come back to it.
Man, it depends. So obviously look and character is something there. Then you always have the open mind to, okay, what else can there be? And as we've seen the last 2 years, Crested Gecko hobby, it's just been all over the place. I feel like there was a new morph coming out every month for like a span of like 8 months. And so I guess it kind of depends what it looks like. If it's, that'd be tough. I would want it obviously to be something that would match its character. I wouldn't, Brian Bernard, he's one of my good friends. It was a bit confusing when he named it Hypo, because the Hypo already was a kind of a name for some species. So I wouldn't name it and try to make it like, love him, but I wouldn't make it confusing. I would name it something like Fire Truck or, something like Pop Rocks. If it was something cool, like a Dalmatian, kind of like how they have the buckshot, where it's like a big splatter spot, something like that. Yeah, it would just depend. I would have to actually know what the animal would be to name it.
I like that. You're going, if it happens, you're going to kind of put it to the side and think about it and come up with something representative, but something catchy too.
Right,
love that.
Exactly. Something easy to remember, and something like, oh yeah, that's the fire truck morph. I don't know. That's the only thing coming to my mind right now.
Deadpool. Something that
like
people,
Deadpool,
right? Yeah.
Exactly. So like that.
Exactly. Something that,
or stuff like that, or even like lines as well too. Like I had a friend that sticks. Right. One of my friends, he's working with some really, really pretty red gargoyles, and he named his Margarita line. So I was like, that's so cool. He just started doing this line that he was doing, just this bright red. And he just started naming his lineage from the Margarita lineage. I'm like, that's really cool.
I think that kind of makes it fun too. It kind of keeps the excitement there. You're not just working, with P47 3XL,
Exactly, definitely. We're used to that as well. That's how we code all of our hatchlings, and we're a lot.
At some point, it just, unfortunately, with too many animals, it becomes a numbers game, and everything's a number, and you kind of lose focus. And I think we were there 2 years ago, and just too many, and you just kind of have to pull back and say, this kind of doesn't feel right. You have to pull back and say, it's got to be entertaining, it's got to be fun, and it has to be enjoyable.
Yeah, definitely.
What's one thing that people wouldn't realize that you guys are doing at Illinois Valley Geckos? If they saw what you were doing, they would go, oh my, I can't believe that. Kind of anything different that you're doing that would kind of surprise people?
Dark frogs, definitely. You don't usually see crested gecko breeders working with other species of animals, especially amphibians. So a crested gecko breeder working with amphibians and dart frogs and stuff like that is really cool because you really don't see it a whole lot, and especially for them to have it on the same table. So that's also really unique. You don't really see that a whole lot. So we've been having dart frogs at our tables for like about the past month or so.
Yeah.
And you know, they see Illinois Valley Geckos. They're like, okay, it just needs more geckos. But then they get closer and they're like, oh, there's these little frogs on the table. And they're like, what is this? I'm like, that's a little Zerayunga dart frog. And they're like, what? How do you keep them? And then it goes into a rant of, you know, how to keep them. And, you know, they get all interested. So, yeah.
I want a dart frog.
Nanette says, I want a dart frog.
The problem is, I
we
know,
haven't been calling.
I'm surprised if we got one, you'd want to breed them, and I don't want to do that. I just want one.
My Zerayungas breed like bunnies. They lay eggs probably every few weeks or so, and it's usually a batch of 10 to 15.
We don't have any space.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. And we were talking about this space right here where the fish used to be. That's 4 feet by.
And they're really pretty and purple.
Sorry, I've lost focus.
Blue.
Right.
Squirrel.
We had
Oh, it
you're
could
talking.
happen so easily.
Yeah, it could. And the reason I didn't ever get into dart frogs, I actually was looking at dart frogs before reptiles, and bought a pair of leopard geckos because, and then started expanding. Then really had a fascination the first year or two with dart frogs. I thought if I'm going to do dart frogs, that's going to control my life. I know how it goes, and I focus and I focus more on geckos and never look back. But that was a good decision because it would have been all over. What?
Jen Lee says get one species that's harder to breed, and there won't be as much temptation.
That's a
Maybe.
good point.
That is
That's a really
true.
good
Our
point.
Zerayungas are only ones being prolific. Then again, we bought the other ones when they were juveniles still or babies. So those are still getting to the adult phase. So we'll see.
I just want to look at them.
And
I
the
don't want to
calls.
breed
I would
them.
love to hear them calling at
won't
night.
bother.
You know, we have a couple of geckos that call.
Let's see if I can find a prompt one of the guys here. Usually if I spray, the males start showing us. Well, you might hear the males. So the Zerayunga, even though they're only size a quarter, they have a very loud call, which is awesome. But like there's other ones like my red galops up here. They're also the same size, but they're very low buzzer. So it depends on what species. So it's incredible. I mean, even when I started hearing Zerayunga calling, and I'm like, what? No way. That little thing doesn't make that noise.
Right.
Will they call to each other from across the room? Is that what they're doing?
Thankfully, no. Just because they're different calls, so they recognize different things. So if I were to play a video of like a Zerayunga dart frog calling, usually that male, the Zerayunga, will start calling back. That's how we actually prompted him to get more comfortable in the tank and to start calling more when we first got him. Because I'm like, he's not making any noise. They said these were a breeding pair. And so, yeah, we started playing Zerayunga calling, like mating noises from the male. And yeah, he would start to argue back, and then we just left him alone. Now he calls like all the time.
I've got to share this story. This is your show, but I have to tell the story because it's so unique. We got a trio of 4 male and 3 females of Cerdidactylus penguensis zebrancus, and they call. They chirp real super loud. Never heard them. It's been 3 months, 4 months, and they're in this big tank up here. It's like 3 feet by 2 feet. Never hear them. Never in my office, and I tend to do a lot of breaks, and I'll move around while I'm working. And all of a sudden, my office chair went. It just kind of squeaked really loud. Honest to God, behind me got the return within 2 seconds, and it was like, this is cool. This is the greatest thing in the world. So that's all I did. I didn't, not on social media. I'm just rocking in my chair trying to find that sound again. And I hit it once in a while, and I'd hear the chirp right back. It was so cool.
That is
Somebody-
awesome.
Katie wants to know if I could just keep one, then I could have one, and then we wouldn't have to breed them.
No, that's not happening. We never keep one of anything.
You can't just keep one.
You can't.
She's just suggesting. She's trying to help here.
Give us a suggestion for a good starter. Dart frog.
That's not going to breed a ton.
That is going to breed a ton.
My dendrobrate species are incredibly hardy, and my Xeriongas are too. They are incredibly hardy. The hardest part, honestly, is if you do breed them. I know it's kind of like beyond the point you're making right now, but if you do breed them, they have to have like certain requirements too. So if you don't meet those requirements, usually you'll be okay. And even if you don't want tadpoles, don't give them a water source. So it's pretty easy. They might lay tadpoles, but then, or they might lay eggs and then they'll just, either reabsorb into the environment or get eaten by nice pods. So either way, it's a big cycle, however you want to look at it. So you can still, and then my Xeriongas, and then I would say dendrobrate species are very hardy. So like the blue Xerius, I also keep mock gecko. You might be able to kind of see, you can't really see him, but he's like a black and yellow guy down in here.
Neat.
I just think they're beautiful.
Oh, they are absolutely. That's a big frog. That's a good solid. Yeah. Animal,
the dendrobrate species easily get like that big, whereas like my Xerionga are like, I would say that big. So there's different types. There's like thumbnail species, and there's like even slightly bigger, like the bumblebees. People see those all the time. And then like the dendrobrates. Dendrobrates are usually the biggest.
I'm gonna have to go by our table the next time and just look at them.
Well, Saturday we'll be there Saturday. So if you see us coming, hide all your dart frogs. Just put them under the table so we're not tempted.
Sure. We're only going to have a select few. We only have, I think, maybe 8. Yeah. Maybe 8 or less. We had some go recently, so it's kind of what we got.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, and it's so funny too, because everyone like walks up and sees them and they're like, oh, they're so tiny. But I'm like, they only get this big. So like a juvenile is like half the size, and they're like, there's no way. And I'm like, you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
And they're always
like the little ones.
Yeah, they're very social. Like I can find them honestly, like right now. And what's fun is that my Xeriongas, I have a couple spicy ones. So if I'm in the tank with the fruit fly cup, they will actually like pounce at my hand, thinking my hand is fruit fly. Oh they would not be able to survive in the wild.
You're doing a show Saturday. We've mentioned this a couple of times, and JP has some questions. I hope JP is still in the show here.
I think he's still here.
I want to show this real quick. We're going to talk about some show questions as well, but I wanted to get this one out. What was your experience vending? And I think what he means is, how did you start and how did you kind of gain experience, and what were the highlights and the lowlights when you started vending?
Yeah. My biggest thing was confidence. Yeah. Oh my gosh. The first year was awful for confidence. Just because I wasn't used to trying to like, interact with people about, my animals. I always felt like inferior, especially like getting into such a big community. I always felt really tiny. And so obviously over time I began to realize like, actually, no, it's pretty okay. Everyone here is very friendly, and confidence started growing. I started talking to people more, started saying hello more. And, now I'm just like a chatterbox. Yeah, but it works really well though. You still gotta work on your talking a little more, but yeah, we're definitely getting there. It's a lot better than what it was, because I used to be like really shy and bashful when I first started. But no, and then for like inspiration, I kept seeing like how other people were like vending tables, even like yours. I remember talking to you plenty of times and buying stuff off your table, like, wow, this looks great. This is a great idea. And
you're the person that walked by and took all those pictures and didn't say hi or didn't. I'm just kidding.
I took a selfie with you.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, definitely. That was years ago. I think we've been about 4 years now, give or take. Something like that, give or take. But yeah, and then so I would get inspiration from seeing like other people's tables, and then social media was another big thing too, of like, okay, seeing other people's tables that like aren't even like in person or at my own shows, to give me like ideas, like, oh, I really like that light, maybe I should try something similar. Or like, how about that stand? Actually, we just got a new stand. Literally from one of our couple shows ago, there was a lady that was selling like dog like cupcakes, and she had this beautiful stand, and she was recommending it to me, and I'm like, where'd you get it? Would you be okay to send me the link? She's like, oh yeah, absolutely. And so yeah, she sent us the link, and it's our new stand now, and it fits more than what we had. So that's Absolutely. It's been, we get ideas from other people and we bounce off ideas, what works, what doesn't, because we had some people, they got this light, they didn't really care for it, but they got this one, they said it was really bright. Had other people ask us, hey, where'd you get this? Where'd you order this tablecloth at, this banner? And
tablecloths.
Yeah, exactly. And so we kind of just bounce ideas and like, okay, yeah, let's order this from there and go from there. So it works out really well.
JP is doing his first show at Sewer Fest coming up this fall. And I know he's apprehensive. We all were. What a great answer, building that confidence. Once you get your first show under your belt, it's a different world. I 1000% believe exactly what you said. That is such a great answer. I mean, you can do your research and go to Dave Hoffman and his show videos, and JP, you have plenty of show videos, and I have some show videos. Go out there and watch. But once you get your experience with that first one, it's a different world. I love that answer.
Definitely. And like even my first show, I had him and my family there. And we had 2 tables right at the bat, and they were all there to support me. So that really helped out too. And then I just made friends. Like even at my first show, vendors were coming up to me like, "Are you new here?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm new here." And they're like, "Oh, handshake, welcome to the show. Hope to see you more often." And so like ever since I had that first experience, now I'm doing that to other people that like are their first time. Like welcome in. My name's Carolyn. I'm with this table. If you ever have any questions or need anything, absolutely come visit me. Pretty much like how you were with me when I first started. So like tips, tricks, bounce off ideas, if you need recommendations or anything like that. Absolutely. All day, every day.
One of the things that we did, I just want one of these.
Oh.
So we went, when I first started doing the shows, I just brought a little notepad. And
right.
Like you were saying, I don't think back 160 years ago, I had the cell phone, but I would walk around and just kind of keep this in the pocket. I don't want anybody seeing me taking notes about their table. So I'd walk past their table and frantically scribble notes. Like, oh, I love their sign. So have a notepad right on your table, right behind your displays, your animals, and take notes. Like, oh, I forgot to bring an extra pen because one of them I brought one and it didn't work, and that was really a bummer. Just take notes as far as how you can improve for the next show.
Do you know how many people come up and ask if they can borrow a Sharpie?
What's that, Carolyn?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we do something similar. We already keep a school notebook that we actually just hold track of our sales in. And then if we can make any extra notes or anything, like even if we sell a gecko, we get the person's name. So, and then we get everything. So that way, if they ever come back to us in the future, be like, hey, I think I bought a gecko in March last year. Do you sell lineage? I got it. Yes. So I keep track of everything of who gets sold, when, what, who, when, where. Yeah. And then if we have to make any extra notes or anything, this person's name is Chelsea, for a vendor friend, just so I can remember names, I'll do that too.
Mm-hmm.
Great idea. And JP, I know you're going to be fine.
I know he's not scared.
Yeah, I'm sure he's not. But a lot of people are, and I don't think they should be. Do a show. Don't worry about it. If you completely fail, your second show will be that much better. That's my thought. How do you guys prep for a show? How do you get ready for? I know you're probably in prep mode right now.
Yeah, we are in prep mode. So depending on the show, depends on what we're bringing. So we also been NARBC Tinley Park. We do that one twice a year with Barb at Creepy Exotics. Shout out to her. She is a godsend. I love her to death. And so we also bring starter kit tanks. And usually for Tinley, we bring close to 50 of them. Mm-hmm. Our smaller everyday shows will usually bring anywhere from 8 to 10, sometimes smaller, depending if it's a smaller show. But even for Schaumburg that we're going to tomorrow, so tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, we've got this 3-day Schaumburg show. Mm-hmm. We're bringing close to 30 tanks. So we're not bringing a big 50 like we do with Tinley. We did Schaumburg last year, so it kind of gave us an idea what to expect. Especially this year that we only have one table. Last year we got lucky and we're gifted a second table just because vendor friend didn't show up. And yeah, we it's a lot. So
Mhm.
obviously the starter kits are the first build.
Yeah.
And then we just start working. So usually he'll help with all the starter kits and get those built. While he's doing those, I will pack all the ice pods. So I'll kind of tilt my camera a little here. All those are my ice pods. Yep. So I got all the ice pods up there. Gazillion different species, I feel like. I know it's probably not all that much for some breeders, but it's still a lot for us. So it takes a lot of time because we still hand count everything. We still do a 10 to 15 count for everything. So we try to be as accurate as possible.
Yeah.
We still throw in a couple extra when need be. That usually takes a couple hours for me, and it usually takes a couple hours for him to, God, how many hours we've already spent doing the tanks and ordering tanks. And tanks are its own separate gig. We work on tanks nonstop for about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And our 3D printer is
Wow.
constantly going. Our 3D printer hasn't stopped moving in like a month.
Yeah.
Because on the starter kits, there's 3D printed vents, there's 3D printed latches, there's 3D printed cups. And even the latch itself is what, 4 pieces, 5 pieces? Yeah, give or take. And so there's a lot of moving parts of everything. And then as soon as we get the ice pods packed, get the tanks packed in the car, all right, now we got to do the geckos. Okay, let's go through the geckos. We'll do it a few nights before. We'll get labels ready and see, okay, this one's big enough. Let's go ahead and let's put a label on this one. Let's tag it. We'll do little colored stickers. So like an orange sticker means that this one's going to be for sale. Red means hold back. We do a couple other different organizations there too. If it's like a single female, we'll put a pink dot on it. That means like do not breed. That's gonna be its own separate thing. Even some of these guys are like my crested that are like do not breed, my pets forever. I love them to death. Some of my first crested geckos are like down in here that I ever bred, and they will never be bred. So this is like a like a keepsake kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, pretty much we get crested gecko cups made a couple days before. And the night of, even tonight we'll probably be up till way past midnight.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's all right. That's okay. I would like to say we're used to it.
Yeah.
I promise we're not going to keep you very much
Don't
longer.
worry.
It's
You're
already
totally
been an hour, but I know how it is. It gets tense come, when you're getting ready to vend a show. We have some
3-day.
Yeah, exactly. And especially a 3-day. We have some starred questions. I want to see just real quick. One last question for me. I'm not going to be Frank says 24 hours. I don't know if we're going to go 24 hours. Yeah, we can just keep doing this as you're driving and setting up for the show. Here's my last question. Then we've got some stars. And then, folks, we're going to do a quick for fun. Hit it or quit it.
We haven't done that.
We haven't done that in a long time. And you two are perfect for this. These are just honest, quick questions. Dustin, you might want to run, just not walk, but run from this one. This will be fun. Anyways, okay, we have some stars. Nanette,
you had one question before the stars.
Oh, did I?
You said you had one question.
Oh, I did. I'm sorry. See how quick I forget. Okay,
Wow.
Illinois? What's that?
Nothing.
Okay, what's your next big step? If you're thinking about changing anything or adding anything substantial, not I'm going to work on this crested gecko project, what's Illinois Valley Gecko's next big thing?
So we already have like the Chihuahuas coming in, so that's its own like separate thing.
Yeah.
Chihuahuas are very particular compared to crusteds, and you have to be very careful with them. So I'm really excited about those. Eventually, I would like to work with lychees, but obviously space is the next big concern. So maybe when things get rotated around for some projects, I like to eventually work with like some high pink or even like some of the red lychees. Those are kind of cool. So like basically just a high pink lychee. Those are really cool. Eventually I'd like to work with those. This is a little TLDR, but I would like to work with breeding fire skinks. That's going to be really cool. I already have been in contact with a breeder that bred fire skinks in the US. So it'd be captive bred, which is good because fire skinks are widely known to be wild caught. So I definitely don't want to do that. I'm looking to pawn off one of my fire skinks soon. They are incredible eaters. They were a surrender, but they are incredible now. They were surrenders when they were EBBs. And no, they are huge now. They're like easily, I would say, like that big now.
Yeah,
easily
easy.
almost a foot.
Yeah.
And so they're getting huge. Thing is, though, is their brother, more than likely siblings. So obviously, I don't want to go that route. So one will eventually get pawned off. Then the different, hopefully opposite sex will come in and work with that. So that's really exciting. I'd like to do that in long future, long-term goal. Obviously Fire Skinks is its own separate, heating requirements and everything else too. That would be definitely long-term. I've had people reach out and say like, hey, do you work with these guys? Yeah, I'm like, I'm raising 2 right now, but I won't be able to pair them, kind of thing. But they are incredible to work with.
A lot of admiration, because I don't think as a hobby and I'm going to speak generally, we don't do enough to stop importation. And I know that there's certain issues with, if we start, I'm trying to think of an animal, and I can't think of anything other than Periodora gracilis, but everything that's coming in is wild. And if we could just stop that, oh my gosh, if we could stop that. And I know there's going to be issues there with, lines and line breeding and so on, but it would be such a blessing to not have to depend on pulling animals out of the wild where, they capture 100 and 20 get to the hobby and 3 of them get into good hands and 1 lives after, a year. So,
exactly. Same thing for dark dogs too. Yeah,
breaks my heart. Anyways,
strawberry dark dogs, like strawberry blue jeans, just throwing out an example, 95% of all strawberry blue jeans in the world that are ever found like on a table or anywhere else is all going to be imported. Because strawberry dark frogs are one of the absolute hardest Luphago familio to breed. That's their actual name. The scientific name is Luphago familio. And they're so hard to breed. So people are bringing them in and you see them. And unfortunately, I fell victim to this. I had bought 4 from someone at a show. I'm not going to say names or shows, but unfortunately, every single one of them passed, besides my 1 female that I had prior to getting those. And it was very tough. It just made me feel so defeated. And I was told that they were captive bred, but once they started passing left and right with all the perfect requirements, I don't think so. Yeah, it's tough.
I think that's the hard part. Once you start getting into the rarer animals, the wild caught, you have to develop as quick as you possibly can the self-forgiveness ability or skill, and think and open mind and go through what caused this. But eventually you have to go, it's flipping wild caught. It is what it is. I did my best, and I've got to move on.
I have a question for Dustin.
Sure.
He's been very quiet back there tonight.
He's a quiet guy.
I was just curious, what is your favorite species to work with? What do you like the most?
I think I like the dark frogs the most. I think they're my favorite.
Yeah, your blue dark frogs.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I got good with them.
Yeah.
Is that because they're blue, or because you're seeing some success and seeing babies and?
It's seeing the success going from absolutely nothing to seeing how big the projects have gone is absolutely incredible, is what she's done. So, and seeing how many others are into this hobby as well that, we've never brought them to shows before, but now that we're bringing them in, we're seeing how many more regulars that we see at the shows are also into these as well. So it's really neat to see that.
Yeah. And then like jumping on that too, we're broadening our customer base too. And we made, a handful of friends already. One of just a customer of ours was just like, hey, I have a bunch of tadpoles of this one species. Do you want it? I'm like, do you want to trade? He's like, no, just have it. You guys are great people. I'm like, oh my God, thank you.
Outstanding. And, that's the wise thing to do for shows, is kind of try to diversify like you already have, obviously. You guys are doing a great job there. Okay, I've selfishly asked all of my questions, so I'm going to go to our starred questions here. I'm going to grab some of those. Are you guys working with chameleon geckos as well? I thought I saw one on their page.
Yeah. Cool. Yes, I forgot to mention those. So you're dactyles. So we work with Urodactyly velarde currently right now. If anyone has seen our Facebook page and my personal one, Carolyn Kahon is my personal one, we actually started to produce high orange Urodactyly velarde.
Mm-hmm.
Those are gorgeous. We've had one hatch so far. It's going to be a holdback. Urodactyles, I mean, I'm sure you're familiar with this. The smaller they are, the harder they are to keep and more vulnerable that they are to, thrive. So these guys hatch from an egg that's like the size of a pea. So it's incredibly difficult, I will say, to work with Urodactyls just because they are so small. And it's going to be the same thing for Bobby as well. But yes, we do work with chameleon geckos or Urodactyls. There's 4 different species there. But velarde is one that we're currently working with, and we're working with some nice oranges on there too.
If I can throw in my 2 cents, I can't stop blabbing. I apologize, but the smaller the animal, I think the key is food. First, food items. If you're not prepared, housing is one thing, lighting, heat, everything else. But I tell you what, if you're not prepared with the right food, you're done. Don't get into them. Absolutely. Sorry. Okay, I'm done preaching.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry that Derek is asking. Let me show this. Are you using a misting system or hand misting your bioactives? Great question.
So we are hand misting. We have this fancy thing that is discontinued on Amazon. It's replaced with something else now. I haven't tried it out yet. But it's a battery-powered sprayer. It's a handheld one that holds a ½ gallon. And we absolutely love these. And you can change how powerful the spray is too just by twisting the pan. So if you want to go from a fine mist to like a jet spray, you can do that as well. And you can just quickly tap the button twice and it sprays until it can't spray no more. It essentially till it's empty. So it'll just spray for you. So it's really nice. I see some people use pump sprayers and I'm like, oh God, or even just like the handled ones. We used to do like the handled ones too before. That was awful. I would have worst hand cramps ever. I mean, even for the dart frogs, we also just, battery power mist them. I just like to say hand mist, but people usually think it's the handled, pump one. But no, yeah, the battery powered one, and that lasts us easily a month on a single charge. So it's really nice there too.
Did you mention the brand?
Oh, what are you? Repazoo, actually. We got off Amazon 4 years ago. They discontinued it and they replaced it with a different model, but we haven't tried it yet. It's different shaped. I don't know if it's smaller or not, but luckily, knock on wood, these have been working great for us. Nice.
I see a lot of people going to the powered sprayers with larger collections. Perfect. Derek has a question. This is way off topic, but we're going to cover it. For real though, my gecko seems to have lost interest in crickets and prefers the Pangea with bugs. Is that normal or bad? I'll let you guys take this one.
Yeah. So we've been asked this a gazillion times. I mean, it's like the same kind of question for ball python breeders of, hey, my skunk's no longer eating. What do I do? It's the same thing for geckos. So like, hey, my gecko's no longer eating bugs. So there's different tricks that you can do to get them back onto bugs. Some geckos are just, the older they are, the dumber they are sometimes, and they just see a moving thing and don't even think about it. No offense, Wally.
I resemble that remark.
I thought you were going to take offense. I'm like, oh no.
You see me eat chocolate chip cookies.
And so
that was great.
So usually the younger that they are, it's easier to get them started on bugs. So like, at least for us, we have all of our younglings on dubia in like their own little safe-proof dish. So we just toss the bugs in the safe-proof dish and they're on their right way. But sometimes for breeders that don't offer bugs to their animals, I have noticed it's a harder time for like when they get rehomed to someone else or sold off, whatever you want to say it. And then they try to give them bugs and they have a harder time adjusting. I have noticed that before. So if people run into their animal like not on bugs, what I always say is if it's a cricket, a dubia, whatever, just dip it in the Pangea and then give it to it. Or vice versa, you can actually limit your Pangea off a bit and then you can actually start to introduce more bugs. Obviously Dustin with calcium, of course, don't skip that. And then we tongue feed, people are more than welcome to do a safe-proof dish. Like that's how all of our babies are. Escape group dishes with dubia in it. We like dubia because it lasts much longer also. And they're much easier to take care of compared to crickets. Granted, they're more expensive, but they last a lot longer, more efficient. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, bugs are a must with any reptile. So make sure that you offer it in some sense, whether it be that you dip the cricket head in a Pangea slush and you give it to them, and because usually when they're licking it up, they'll bite it. And so once they bite it, there you go. Something also too is chain feeding. You can usually get them with 2 or 3 in a single feeding. So if you have like one gecko that you're taking care of, if they're already munching away, sneak in another like bug as they're munching down, like as they almost finish the first one. So that's another good thing too. So obviously don't give them with a ton, but let them swallow first. Yeah. But yeah, chain feeding is another idea too to get bugs in their system. And usually once they have a flavor for it and they have a taste for it, they'll start taking off usually.
Love it. Love it. Love it. I have nothing to answer to that. Well done. Good question, Derek. Well done. Oh my gosh, all these ice cream questions coming up in the chat. I don't know if you guys can see it, but the cool thing is that we are now on Hit It or Quit It. And the very first question, and let me explain what we're going to do here. We're going to do 2 quick parts, and we're going to make this super fun and super fast. This first part is raise your hand. So there's going to be many questions where it's independent, but then it's going to get, and you'll kind of recognize it. It's going to come down to a choice. And you'll probably recognize that and keep your hand down for one and raise it for the second one. Let's give this a shot. Quick as we can. So
and
what I want to
comment.
And I can't comment.
It's
okay, I'll try
not
to. Okay. Nanette, you're going to control the chat if anything comes up. And I am going to jump over here. So let's get going. Okay, here's the first question. This is the hand raising part. So, and then we're going to get more into 1-word, 2-word kind of answers. But this is the hand raising. Which of you are late night owls? I'm sorry, I passed up the question. Which of you are ice cream rather than a healthy snack late at night? Who goes for the ice cream?
Ice cream late at night.
I'm on a diet right now, so right now him.
So you'd go for the healthy snack. Go.
I would honestly just not eat. I just lost like 60 pounds, so yeah.
Wow.
I would rather just
well
like
done.
not.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Who controls the remote control?
That's you.
I think it's me.
Yeah, you always got the controller. Or like watching your shows, yeah.
This is kind of one of those 2-parters. Whose favorite class in school was science or math?
I did really well.
Whose favorite class in school was home ec or gym?
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
No. Oh god, no.
No, not at all.
No. I hated physical, and then home ec, I am an awful cook, so that tells you anything. Yeah, you didn't even have home ec?
Nope.
Who's more introverted?
You.
Me, yeah, me for sure.
You guys need to be more just like quick hands. You can't look at, you can't go,
right.
What do you think here? You think that you are? I think that you are. What do you?
All right, I'll do quick.
Okay.
All right.
Who has visited the most states in the U.S.?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw a little bit from Dustin.
He was pointing
Yeah.
out.
I've traveled before.
This is one of those 2 kind of parters. Vanilla?
Ice
Who
cream?
likes vanilla?
Or
Anything.
flavor?
Anything.
Vanilla,
Flavor.
anything.
Neither.
No.
Chocolate. Both of you chocolate.
Yeah.
Who decides more often the restaurant you go to?
I have the final say.
Yeah.
I'm picky.
Who believes in superstitions? Wow. Okay, I can see that.
Yeah. I knock on wood for everything.
Yeah.
I make him if I say something dumb.
Black cat. Is that a big one?
That
Black
too.
cat.
That too. I'm like, it's a rainy day,
Yeah, I think you made me turn around before.
Yeah, I
I love this. Okay, this is one of those two-parters. Leader. Who's who's a leader? Okay, follower. Yeah, you're kind of a little hesitant there. Who is more likely to start an argument?
Oh.
Ooh, interesting. I would throw my hand up.
You're more passive.
Okay, this is one of those two-parters. Dog person.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, cat person.
No.
Cat person.
No.
Neither. Okay,
Neither.
another two-parter. Early bird.
Yeah.
Night owl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Up to like 3 a.m. every night, waking up at like 5.
No.
Who's the clumsiest?
Oh.
Clumsiest?
Both. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
who swears the most?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's you for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I grew up with my
Wow.
dad, so.
We should have started off with this to get to know them a
Yeah.
little bit better.
Mhm.
Okay, who's the messiest?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You can
She
either
owns it.
both keep your hands down or discuss after the show on this next one. Who has the crazier family?
Oh my God. His is vanilla. I love his family. I love it so much because they're so easy to deal with.
I love it. Who's more athletic? Both.
It depends.
Kinda.
I'm getting there. Yeah.
Couple more of these. This is a two-parter. Coffee person.
No. Nope.
Tea person. Neither.
Oh, you like
No,
tea.
okay.
I like it. I'm sick. Yeah.
Who's more likely to forget to put gas in the car?
Honestly, neither. We're really good
Yeah.
about it. Yeah.
Very well. More likely to eat dessert for breakfast.
Oh, if I wasn't on my diet.
I've done that.
If I wasn't on my diet, yeah.
Who's more likely to go skydiving?
Oh God, no. My anxiety is way too bad.
Right. Why jump out of a really good airplane?
Yeah, right.
Finally, the last one for this part. Who is more likely to be arrested?
Arrested?
Probably speeding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay. Somebody wants to know margaritas on the beach or water and hiking,
Margaritas on the beach or what?
or water and hiking, drinking water and hiking.
I like that.
Bowl. Yeah, I like bowl.
Who's seen Santa was another one.
Waffles or pancakes?
Ooh.
Oh, waffles every
Waffles?
morning.
Pancakes.
Every morning. Oh, I have waffles every morning.
This sounds like you're starting an argument.
A little bit, yeah. He still can't tell. Okay, I'm just gonna throw this out there. He still can't tell which way is up on a waffle. Can I just say that real quick? There is an up and a down.
There is not.
Yeah, there is. I would
Unfortunately,
think there is.
See?
Dustin,
Yeah.
I don't know
He puts the waffles upside down.
I don't know up or down either. I eat them too fast to
It's
even
because
recognize.
I make them and I put them up and I put all the butter on.
Oh.
Yeah, she gets it.
Yeah, there's an up. Frank, is there an up or down on the waffle? Frank will have he's the authority on waffles.
I have a few more questions and then we'll let you go here. But these are kind of fun and one or two words, and then we'll move on. The hardest part for me is not to jump in and
Yeah,
explain.
you need to be quiet
so
now.
I'll try
Just
the best I
ask the
can.
question and zip it.
Crickets, a blessing or a curse?
No talking.
Yeah, curse.
Curse.
Okay, move on.
Music genre you listen to when you're working with the animals?
Honestly, we watch like Cops or like River Monsters.
Yeah.
We watch a show while we're working. We usually don't listen to music.
Nice. I like that. If your partner, and Dustin, you can answer this, and then Carolyn, you can answer this. If your partner was forced to sing karaoke, what song would they sing?
Oh man.
Oh man. It
Wow.
would be like, yeah, you go ahead.
What's the tequila song?
Da-da-da.
The one word tequila.
Tequila.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be easy.
Yeah.
Tequila.
The Pee Wee Herman song? Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
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 No talking.
Okay, this is for both of you, and I don't care who answers first, but who is the other's celebrity crush?
Oh, mine's easy. Zach Bagans all day, every day. What's yours? Do you even have one?
Not really.
No.
No celebrity crush. I'm crushed.
No.
I know, me too. You just never really.
I don't watch a whole lot of TV.
No. Yeah. Or like, yeah, he's like on social media much, honestly.
No.
Yeah. That's okay.
Now you have to put on your pretend hats. What is the reality show you are next appearing on?
Well, it's not going to be Naked and Afraid. I'll tell you that much. I don't know. I mean, like, I've seen those Survivor commercials. Those
Yeah.
look cool, but I don't know if I would do it though. I don't know.
I don't know.
I would love to be on like some like drama TV show, like a background person or something.
This one, Dustin, I'm going to ask you to give your answer. Then Carolyn, give your answer. One word that, Dustin, you would think that Carolyn would use to describe herself. One word.
Outgoing.
What was it?
Outgoing.
Outgoing. Nice. Okay, Carolyn, your choice, your chance.
Encouraging.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow. That is, man, that's a showstopper. Do I have any more? That's a showstopper. That was so cool.
Yeah.
What a great word. I love that. I can't think, I have like 5 or 6 more. I'm just going to stop it right there. That's so
That's fine.
cool. That was perfect. You guys, this was a fantastic show. How can people reach you guys?
Frank has been rolling things out all
Yep.
through the show.
Yeah, I just saw Frank's last comment too. Yeah, our best way to contact us, honestly, we're on everything. Our easiest one's Facebook. We're on Facebook probably the most with posts and like
Frank is-
activity wise. I am on my phone almost constantly being a hybrid worker, so I would say Facebook's our easiest.
Yeah.
Cool. And just PM, private message you guys on Facebook?
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Very good.
He's got Morph Market.
Yeah.
He's got your
Yeah, we're literally on
website.
everything.
He's got Facebook.
Hey,
Instagram,
We have
our own webpage. We're on everything.
A real quick note, Frank, I don't do this enough, but thank you so much for all the work that you do for this show. You're simply amazing. Thank you very much.
You keep it going in the chat.
You do.
that's for
You
sure.
do. Absolutely. Again, this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you guys are in Schaumburg. Everybody
Yep.
that's within 2,000-mile driving
Now it's
range,
2,000.
please come visit Schaumburg and see these folks. Just fantastic. I'd love to see what you're doing next. Illinois Valley Geckos, thank you so much for coming on the show. Really appreciate it. Any last
Yeah.
kind of thing that you'd want to share with people that I forgot?
For Schaumburg, where to find us, we are straight back from the entrance. We are on the main out right when you come in through the entrance. So we are
Perfect.
very
Perfect.
easy to find. Straight off to the right. So very, very easy to find. It's easier than finding the last year. Last year we were like all tucked up in a corner, but this year we're straight down the entrance.
Perfect. We'll probably come to you first because we have 3 animals.
Couple.
Two animals.
Two animals.
Yeah.
Two animals.
I lose track. I can't count.
That's okay.
So
I kind of did
Two
too.
animals.
I hope you guys have a great show. Exactly, Mitzi. I hope you guys have a great show. Again, thank you for coming on this show. It's been a blast. Thank you for participating in the end there. You guys are the best. Good luck this weekend.
Awesome. Thank you for having
Thank you.
us.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.